Illustrious Sir Bill Imperial Sir Bill Bailey.
May I have the house lights up, please? If we can take the house lights up a little. Gentlemen, my brother nobles, I came down from the stage because I wanted to meet you on the level and act upon the square. I volunteered at our board meeting to make this presentation to you. I wanted the house lights up so you could see what a stupid person looks like. They said I couldn't get a lobotomy operation done in time before I made this presentation, but I'm here today to make that to you. We're here today to talk about per capita. You have had the presentation before at your shrine associations, but I felt it was necessary to go over this again and hit certain key points with you. Gentlemen, as an imperial officer, duly elected by you and entrusted by you, I believe in transparency and honesty. We've invested in Shriners International. Not just the usual programs, but many programs over the last several years. Shriners Village, where we have incorporated in one website all the tools necessary to conduct business at your temple. We have a toolbox for the ladies, so the ladies have access to programs developed specifically for them. We have membership toolbox that allows you to go out and recruit, retain, and promote membership in your shrine. BeAShrinerNow.com, a website that was designed to snare the millennials because there's interest out there. Who are those men in their funny red hats? They do not go to the library, gentlemen. They have no idea what the Dewey Decimal System is all about. Everybody picks up their cell phones, and the cell phone now outstrips the laptop computer or the PC on the desk as the #1 mode for finding out information in today's world. They go to the website. BeAShrinerNow.com was designed specifically for those young millennials. And you've heard time and time again how successful we have been in capturing a generation's imagination. People who want to honor their grandfathers, their uncles, sometimes their fathers never joined, but there was something about what you did that captures their imagination, and they want to be part of what you do. We've developed the membership development system, going out, not just down in Tampa, asking everybody to fly down to Tampa, but actually going to your home associations. We've even gone so far as to go to the individual temples. When you call us, we come there. Because we're not designing the Tampa membership program, we're designing your membership program in conjunction with your divan, your ladies, your units and clubs, and your new members. Getting everybody on the same page on membership. Because as we all know, it's not just the chairman's job, it's not the potentate's job, it's everybody's job. We have Leadership College to help the OGs and the ARs develop their skills to lead your temple. You've heard Imperial Sir Dale talk about Shriners International magazine. We have gotten reports, rave reviews, about all of a sudden I'm getting communication. I don't have to go seek out information. I'm getting information now delivered to my house. And we've had reports that your wives actually pick up the mail before you do and start leafing through the magazine. And they say, how come you didn't tell me about this? The WebFez program that you just heard Imperial Sir Dale talk about, a new membership database program, because quite frankly, the other one was so outdated, we were losing information. All of that is investing not in Tampa, but investing in you, investing in our fraternity. Let's talk about expenses now. The largest #1 expense of Shriners International is sitting here today. The Imperial Sessions cost us 25%. 1/4 of our entire budget has to do with this Imperial Session. Last year, we had 802 representatives come to the Imperial Session, and many brought their ladies. It cost travel, airline flights, or we reimburse for automobile transportation, hotel, and per diem. It cost us, as a fraternity, cost you $1.2 million to have you here in these seats. Gentlemen, there is no Fortune 500 company that pays their stockholders and their ladies to come to a board meeting, to come to an annual session and vote upon legislation. They say if you want to show up in New York or wherever the headquarters is, you can show up, you can get in the door, but you have to pay your own way. We believe it's important for you to be here. We believe in what this represents. You can do it online, but you don't have the energy. You don't have the camaraderie. Walking through the lobby on Saturday and Sunday when everybody was arriving, there was laughing, scratching. There's a lot of lying going on too. But there were people who you had not seen in over a year's time. The noise level in that lobby and all the different lobbies of the hotel was tremendous because Shriners were in town. We have to arrive a few days in front of when you arrive because we have board meetings, we have committee reports that we have to do. And you get on the elevator and it's very quiet. There's 2 or 3 people on there. And everybody looks at the numbers or looks at the door or looks at the floor, and nobody says a word. But when the Shriners hit town, you can't hardly breathe inside an elevator. And before it goes 1 floor, you already know where everybody's from. But more importantly, you know where their hospitality room is. That's the energy that you bring. And you should see the smiles on the wait staff because they start having fun. They enjoy and feed off the energy that you give them. That's what being together is all about. Now, let me clear up a couple misconceptions that may be out there. You said, well, we need to cut back. We need to have fewer room nights. Gentlemen, everything that is generated is based off of room nights. You heard the councilman, if you were here in the opening session, the councilman says, we're glad you're here, and we hope you bring even more people later, because the city actually pays the shrine for you to be here, because it costs the expense of this convention hall. And I'm not just talking about this room. I'm talking about the competition rooms, the marketplace. I'm talking meeting spaces that we have to have for everybody. You think it's easy to put on a parade? Cities charge us, and at the association level, they charge the associations between $30,000 and $50,000 to put on a parade. Cities want you to come here, they just don't want you to mess up their streets. You get in the way of traffic. So they donate money to the shrine, but out of that money, you have to pay for EMT, police, street department, because it's not just regular time, gentlemen, it's overtime, it's holiday pay time. That's where that money goes. Competition locations, we were fortunate in Houston to have competition in this huge convention. That doesn't usually happen. The horse patrol was at the far end on the first floor. Most of the time, the horse patrol has to be somewhere 20, 30 miles out, and we have to pay for that space. And usually for a barns and a rink, I've been told it's $10,000 to $15,000 to pay for something like that. We have to have an area for the motor corps. We have to pay for space like that. That's what's covered underneath the city. And sometimes there's transportation costs involved. If there's buses provided, that helps cover the cost of the buses. Now below that, the next 3 lines is covered by the Convention Corporation. The Convention Corporation is an LLC. It is a separate entity from the Imperial Shrine. It is not covered under us. It is a Convention Corporation, an LLC that's put together that raises money that covers the rest of the costs. While you're sitting here today, your ladies are being entertained upstairs at a ladies' luncheon. The Convention Corporation pays for that cost. They cover the cost of the pageant. They cover the cost of the representatives' evening. Between the city giving you money and the Convention Corporation raising money, that is equivalent to $450,000 on average. That money does not come out of your pocket. We only have 2 sources of income. We have the annual per capita, and we have the return on endowment. Now, you've just heard everybody loves giving to the hospitals. Nobody gives to the fraternity. Occasionally, we do have people that give to the fraternity. Bless their soul, they don't get a tax write-off, but they give money. They believe in the fraternity. And we've been able to build an endowment. And we are able to build the endowment also off of some of the profit from the per capita. We're storing it away for a rainy day. That rainy day has arrived, gentlemen. In 10 years, because of the loss of membership, the per capita income has declined 34.75%. In 10 years, we've lost so many members, we've lost $2 million in income. You can't make up $2 million in income. It's impossible to cut that much money, over $2 million. And I'm not blaming anybody here, but gentlemen, the can has been kicked down the road. And it's been kicked down the road long enough, because it's all due to one thing: membership decline. And Imperial Sir Dale has been on the chairman of the membership committee, and he has preached and he has preached. And Jeff Souter has come to the associations, and several of the Imperial officers have come to the associations, and we have said, membership, membership, membership. We'll get around to it one day. Don't worry, Imperial Sirs. We believe in membership, but it gets in the way of other things that we're doing at our temple. Now, let's talk about expenses. The average national consumer price index is 3%. Your Imperial officers have been able to maintain over the last 15, 20 years, an average of 1.2% control on expenses. But we have deficits, gentlemen. The tipping point started in 2010, where we had less income from per capita. In 2010, we lost $174,000. That's not too bad. In 2011, some people didn't want me to talk about this, but it's full disclosure. A concert was tried in Denver, and we lost money. We lost big money. And that's when controls were put in place that would never happen again. And because of the decline in capita, we lost 518,000, 656. Last year, this past year was $1.3 million. Now, before we all get upset, let me show you where that $1.3 million came from. We have less income because of the decline in the per capita. It has been reduced by $261,000. The per capita, the investment return, because we had to sell stock. The per capita reduced by $200,000. It cost investing in the shrine, on the Shriners magazine, $221,000. The new WebFez program cost $135,000. That's all despite you telling us you don't want us to travel as much coming to your association. That's fine. But we've reduced our travel, and we're still in need. Here's fraternal source of revenue per capita over the last 2 years, so that you understand this is in millions. In 2012, our per capita was $4.3 million. Next year, because we had fewer members, it went to, had a decline in membership of a decline in revenue of $174,000. And in 2014, because of a decline in membership, we had $200,000 less. Investment return, again, we're having to sell stock to cover and pay for expenses. We're down $480,000 and down $261,000. In 2 years, there has been a decline in revenue of $1.1 million. You can't cut to the bone. There's not enough there that we can change that. Let me show you. You're not the first persons to have to deal with per capita. Back in 2001, if you look on the graph, the expenses in the red line were above the revenues of per capita. There was a gap there. And they came through, and the per capita was $5 at that time. They say, we need to go to $10. And everybody screamed like bloody murder. And so it went to the second year in 2003 and said, we need to increase the per capita from $5 to $10, and it got passed. And then you see the per capita increased. But following the graph a little bit more, you see that our endowment, where we put that money, actually went farther. We were able to put more money in the bank. Now, when that per capita in 2003 was put through, they predicted that the per capita would only last 4 years. And then we'd need to do another per capita increase because of the loss of membership. If membership turns around and takes off, we don't have to worry about it. But the problem is, it didn't take off, and it continued to decline. And this is where we are today, gentlemen. We have continued that prediction of the endowment lasting 4 years, actually went to 10 years. We have been good stewards of your money. When I was first an OG, I sat at the table, and I sat across the table from the treasurer, and we were talking about budget line items, and he looked at me and he says, OPM. And I looked at the budget line and I couldn't find a budget line. I went page after page trying to find OPM. And he kept saying to me, OPM, OPM. And he didn't understand. He says, it's other people's money. He hammered it into me the first day I was OG. And I continue to remember that today. We are good stewards of your money because it is the fraternity's money. It's your money. It's our money. But the problem is, gentlemen, that it all ties back to membership. Now, there are temples in this room that have gone gold and will be recognized for gold. And gentlemen, we thank each and every one of you for working hard and turning that ship around and going gold. I've said, what's the secret? And the secret is hard work. It's not easy. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, gentlemen, and I want to show it to you. There it is right there. I couldn't believe it when I heard this. I looked it up on the internet. The millennials now outstrip the baby boomers. They are the largest single generation that is out there today. The question we have to ask ourselves is, are we catering to the baby boomers? Yes, we did, and we're very successful at it. But now, are we catering to the millennials? Are you encouraging the young people to come in? Are you giving them responsibilities? Are you bringing in the 20 to 34-year-olds and playing them Guy Lombardo music? Boy, that's exciting. Yeah, but you want to listen to their music? Their music is terrible. It's their music, guys. Where's El Riyad? Come on, you're in here somewhere. There. I have yet to visit their temple, and I'm dying to visit their temple, gentlemen, because I went on their website and I found out they have a unit. It's not an Air Patrol unit. It's not an Oriole Band unit. It's a brand new unit, the Brotherhood of the Mystic Brewers. Guys who love to brew their own beer. I can't imagine a millennial that would hate to join that unit. And it's just pure genius. Just pure genius. And we go around and we talk about it, the associations. We have to cater to what they want. Don't put those round pegs in our square holes. Make it designed to be units that they want to join, and that's an example of it. The millennials are out there, gentlemen, and you heard Imperial Sir Dale talk about it. These are young people that are going out there today, and they are joining each other in search of some type of philanthropy to join. It's called crowdfunding on the internet. What they really want to do is give their money because they believe in the common good. So they give anonymously. They give on the internet. That's how they raise money, because they don't belong to a group that shows them how to do it. They don't even write checks. It's all PayPal. It's all electronic transfer. There was a zoo in northern Illinois. A tornado had gone through, kind of ripped up the zoo. They lost some of the animals that escaped. And the zoo really needed some help. And they put out on the internet. It wasn't a capital campaign. They just simply put out on the internet, we need to help fix our zoo. There were people that were donating from California, from Washington, from South Carolina. They raised $3 million in 3 weeks on the internet, gentlemen, by millennials who wanted to do good. That's who we need to tap into. There are these groups of people out there that are dying to do what you take for granted. You think it's no big deal to get together, to party, to have a good time, and to raise money. They want to be like you, they just don't know it yet. What's it going to cost us to tap into that millennial market? We need a little bit of time, and right now we're running out of time. Our fraternity needs a per capita increase. $1.25 per month. That $1.25 is equivalent to 1 bottle of water a month. I'll share a secret with you. There's not a single Imperial Sir that wants a per capita increase. There's not a one of them that wants a per capita increase. But they know that we need a per capita increase. Our fraternity needs it. We don't want to charge you an extra $1, $2, whatever it takes. But we know that we have to make this fraternity viable. $1.25 a month. You want to boil it down to the ridiculous? That's 4 cents a day. We have the money, gentlemen. Last night at Temple dinners, you spent far more than $1.50 a month. You've spilled more in the bars out there than $1.50 a month. We need your support. I am dreaming of the moment that everybody will rise up in single acclamation and say, let's get this thing passed and let's move on with our fraternity. Because you want to know why? We had the reason why yesterday, and Dr. Gadara gave us 2 good reasons. Zach and I have something in common. We both wear funny hats. Zach, if you listened to his story yesterday, he had club feet and arthrogryposis, his hands curled in. His mother was advised to have an abortion, and she refused to do it. She believed that there was some way, somehow, that someone would take care of her son. And she found the Shriners. Harley's story is an amazing story. Young girl burned over 40% of her body. Who's there to take care of the Harleys of the world? Most people who just slap a Band-Aid on it and send them home say that, I'm sorry, we can't treat them anymore. When I served on the board in Chicago, the average, what they call charity care for the state of Illinois was 1.3%. Gentlemen, do you know your charity care totals 60.1%? You take care of more kids than almost all of the hospitals in the United States combined, and you just don't treat one time. You've heard him say over and over, multiple surgeries. Harley, a beautiful young woman, can do that today because you care. Gentlemen, you have the best sales tool in the world for the fraternity, Shriners Hospitals for Children. If that doesn't stir everybody's blood, the reports that you saw, then you better check their pulse because they're dead. Those are amazing stories. You do miracles every day. But let me tell you what's going to happen if we let this fraternity go down the tubes. Tampa can go away, at least part of Tampa. The hospital corporation, who owns the building, will still be there. But if the fraternity goes away, gentlemen, who's going to drive the vans? Who's going to find the patients? Who's going to have the kids' parties? Who's going to go out there and raise money for the hospital side if there's no fez out there? And we're very close to that point. Shriners Hospitals for Children is what you are proud of. If we don't take care of ourselves, then we're just hospitals for children. And I will tell you right now that the configuration of the hospitals will change. There will no longer be a national board of Shriners. There will be no local boards making sure that those hospitals stay open. All of that disappears if this fraternity disappears. And I'm talking more than just money, gentlemen. I'm talking dedication. I'm talking a responsibility. I'm talking each and every one of us, myself included, getting out and doing something about membership, tapping into the millennial market. Otherwise, we're kidding ourselves. We might as well turn off the lights. Gentlemen, the per capita is the short-term fix to get us to the millennials. We can manage the money, but what we need is your help, your dedication, and your promise and commitment to go out and raise membership and tap into that millennial market. Gentlemen, the choice is yours. Thank you.